the stream?
Yeah, he's gonna start.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna start the streaming, alright? Alright, we're live.
We are live. Wonderful. Hello and welcome everyone to Growing Your Business Online, Kingdom Style. I'm very excited to have this opportunity to just bring this amazing event to life with these extraordinary panelists. My name is Tiffany Knowles, and there's so much to talk about when we're talking about online business. E-commerce has grown leaps and bounds over the pandemic year and a half, 2 years. And some people have asked, I mean, will this continue? Should they stop this online business? Is this just going to go back to normal now that we are out and about? And the answer is no. It's actually going to continue to grow, and it's not going to ever go back to the pre-pandemic rates. So people are online shopping and they found the convenience of it, so they're going to continue doing it. They're doing online business, they're doing transactions online, they're producing, and they're providing services for people online, and consumers are learning it. So this is why the college and young professionals at Living Word Open Bible wanted to put this together so that the church can be aware and that we can move forward using the knowledge and the skills and the know-how of these amazing practitioners. So a little bit about myself. My name is Tiffany Knowles. I am a media maker, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an educator, and I have 2 businesses. One is a boutique small business lending firm in Fort Lauderdale, and we grew tremendously over the pandemic. And when people were kind of like, oh, I don't even know what to do, we grew because businesses wanted extra capital and cash as they came to us, so we grew tremendously. And then I also have an online business that aids immigrants in navigating their way to citizenship in the United States. It's called Hola America Series. And you can learn more about me and my endeavors, and you can feel free to ask me questions, but it's really about these individuals who have even more experience in the online space. And so welcome to our audience online, because this is just what we're about, bridging the gap between those who could not be here because space is limited in-house and those who could be here in person. So welcome to our online audience. You will also be participating because throughout this event, we're going to be doing in-person giveaways, online giveaways. We're going to provide opportunities for you to get involved by asking your questions. I'll be monitoring this stream on my iPad, so I'll be able to get your questions out, so don't fear. Whatever that comes to mind, just put it in there and I'll go throughout looking and I'll be able to get your question answered today. Okay, so before we get started with all the exciting discussion, I'm going to invite Claudette Foster to come and open us up in a word of prayer, and then we can begin.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first big event. It doesn't seem big, but it's very big to my eyes of faith. I want to thank God that this thing that we've planned for a while, it has really taken off leaps and bounds. I want to thank God for that. Father God, we give all thanks and praise to you. Lord, our hand we raise to you for your mighty power and love. Amazes us, O God, because you are so good to us. We thank you for today, Lord. We thank you for your many blessings. We thank you, Lord, for affording us the privilege of seeing the launch of this online business endeavor. Lord, we thank you, Lord, that you've given us all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Thank you for providing. You have actually exceeded our expectations. And so we want to give you thanks for that. And even as we see the different programs, Lord, we thank you, Lord, that you're here present with us. And you will do for us what you alone can do, what we cannot do. Have your way, we pray, Lord, in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. I'm sorry about my mask, but I deliberately wanted to keep it on. You know what?
Okay, that's all right. So we're in-house eating, having a little few refreshments. You're virtual, and so you can eat and drink alongside with us as well. But I would like to take the opportunity now to introduce you to the exciting panelists who are going to be offering us this priceless information today. And as you hear their thoughts, their know-how, please write some things down, prepare your questions, because we are opening up the floor to Q&A in the latter half, okay? In addition to that, we have some exciting giveaways from the panel. I have a few things to give away, and we are doing something really special for one individual in-house. We're doing a little bit of a grand prize. We're going to do an on-the-spot hot seat business consultation right here toward the end. So that's going to be very special for one very, very special person. Okay, let me introduce the panel. Andrew Silvera. Let's start with his information. He is the music director here at Living Word Open Bible Church, but believes strongly in developing multiple sources of revenue to generate wealth. He has built a strong sense of online scavenging for real estate over the past several years and is willing to share some of his most trusted tricks of the trade for those who are interested in learning how. Andrew Silvera.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Okay, next we have Shimara Garcia. She grew up in Danbury, Connecticut, and is always told who she was and who she wasn't based on the color of her skin, her hair texture, and the language she didn't speak. She grew up in a bicultural household. She attended an HBCU, where she got a bachelor's in elementary education. She taught for 5 years and then ventured into the realm of business, and she's never looked back. She owns Be Latina, an online apparel brand selling empowering messages. And with her very signature message, Latina has no skin tone and born to an immigrant. I actually have that shirt that she's wearing. She also owns Muñeca Services, a private mobile recovery service for those who are post-cosmetic surgery. She built both businesses using social media platforms over the past 5 years. She's also become a very popular brand ambassador for several successful beauty brands on social media. Welcome her.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm definitely excited to be here and connect and network with everyone. Thank you.
Okay, and finally we have Joshua Cenatis. He is a young Haitian-American pioneer, marketer, and community educator, raised in Miami, Florida. From a very young age, Joshua has pursued entrepreneurship, opening his first food delivery business in 2014, starting his own online clothing store soon after, and he sold his first company at the age of 24. Since then, he has raised 3 marketing companies and 2 international marketing companies from the ground up. Marketing for Joel Osteen, Faye, Bose, Revolve, and more. He is fluent in English, French, and Haitian Creole, and is experienced in the areas of public speaking, marketing, organic, and paid traffic. He seeks to empower individuals to embrace their worth, their value, and lead a purpose-driven life. That's very powerful. He serves as a mentor and liaison for the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence, is the Vice President of Marketing for the Miami Gardens Chamber of Commerce, and the Vice President of the Black Professionals Network. Welcome, Joshua.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to helping you guys out.
All right, so I'm going to take my position over here as I direct questions to you all. The first question is going to be, and actually, we do have an additional panelist who's joining us with a video recording, but we're going to get to her in just a moment. I'm going to ask the very first question, which is, how did you get started in your business space? How did you get started in your business space? And we'll go down the line with that question for everyone.
So whoever has the mic first. Okay, so hello once again everybody, my name is Joshua Cenatis. So I originally got started in business in general, through a friend of mine who wanted to do food delivery services. And he and I just sat down and kind of broke down how we wanted to grow the business and what are the ins and outs and who are the biggest buyers and sellers and things of that nature. And I had actually no idea. I had no form of information in regards to the food industry at all at that time. So I basically took a very much of a crash course in regards to food industry, in regards to services, hospitality, tourism, and I realized the magnitude there was in that, and I invested myself and became a business owner in regards to the food delivery service. And from there, I grew into marketing, and I got to know a lot of business owners and how things work in the back end and front end of business, and that's really how I started.
For my, hello? Yeah, okay. So with Shopee Latina, the online apparel brand, I got started at a time where blogging was very popular, and I thought I wanted to be a blogger. Very quickly realized that that wasn't what I wanted to do, but I wanted to share stories that had to do with identity, that made statements such as born to an immigrant and Latina has no skin tone. So I literally just took my experiences, put them on clothes, and because I was always told that I was good with social media and coming up with clever captions and taking great photos, that's how I entered the space of online apparel brand. And as far as the Lwobc services, I got started when I moved to Miami, and I didn't have a job and I didn't have income, so I was like, okay, well, I have to do something. So literally applied for a social media position at a plastic surgery clinic in Doral, and got the job as a social media manager. And from there, I got fired because they used me and all my marketing strategies they completely took from me. And I got fired the day after our show aired, and I was kind of forced and pushed into entrepreneurship, and although I had the online brand, it wasn't as big as the plastic and cosmetic surgery space. So I decided to really expend my energy over here. And so I met a nurse, and she basically shared with me the aftercare, and from there it just grew into something much larger than I could imagine. So that's how I got started.
Good morning, everybody. I started with a goal. Basically, I decided, after years and years of working with my hands, saying, I have things that I want for myself. I grew up without my father, and so saying to myself that I wanted to be present, I wanted to be home, I wanted to be around for when I married, for when I started having children of my own. So I did what entrepreneurial minds do. You start from the goal, you work backwards. You start from the answer, and you work backwards. And I started asking myself, well, what can I do that will put me in a position to live the lifestyle that I want to live moving forward? I think sometimes, a lot of times we talk about, people talk about wanting to earn money, but at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, you're going to earn money. If you have a job, you're going to earn money. How much money varies, obviously, but what you do is you set goals for yourself. You say, well, these are the things that I want for myself, and then when you start setting hard goals, then you start looking at the way to achieve those goals, and you can see those ways. You put that work in to get to that place, and so you start to, I started to research, like I would see things on television. Oh, join my elite team of house flippers. Things like that. You can flip houses with someone else's money. I started looking into it, and I started saying, well, how can I, what is real and what is fake? And so I spent years just kind of reading, wandering, researching, finding the information. What's real, what's fake, what's possible, what's not. So that I could get to the point I am now, where we're on a path towards purchasing lots and lots of property over a short span of time. And it starts with, you know, for me, just a goal, you know, of, you know, building towards my family, you know, and my future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so I've been monitoring the stream, so everyone who's online, you can chat in, and I'll definitely be able to get your questions out and answer them with panel. Don't worry. Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to a panelist who's not here present. She has submitted her video to us, so we are still going to be able to hear what she has to say and her contributions to the panel. She had to go out of town after agreeing. So, Augusta Philando. She was born in Liberia, West Africa, and migrated to America at the age of 8. Married 24 years to her wonderful husband, Peter Philando. They have 2 children. Being an accountant was planted in her head from a little girl because she said she was very good at math. Her business, Quick Tax Accounting, was birthed in New York in 1992 in her home, but strongly took a turn when they moved to Florida. And she decided to open her accounting office in 2005. She loves serving in her community, educating how not to be afraid of taxes, but understanding it. She says, let's go out and make some real money. So now we're gonna play a video partially, and we'll play the other half afterwards. But yes, we can play her video. Augusta Philando.
If I'm one person starting a business, what is the best type of business entity I should apply under when I'm incorporated? And the answer to that will be a LLC, sole proprietorship, which you would not be double taxed on when it's time for you to do your actual filing. What if I'm not a citizen of the United States? Can I still incorporate my business and get paid under the business? Yes. If you you don't have to be a citizen of the United States to own a business. You can have your green card, which is your residence card, and you'll still be able to register your business in the state of Florida, going to sunbiz.org and following the steps to register your business. The next question that she asked was, can she get paid, or would you guys be able to get paid under the business? And the answer to that is yes, you would be if you are following the guidelines of paying taxes or doing your 941s, which is your quarterly taxes, right? Which you will be taking your self-employment taxes out, your federal taxes, your Medicare, and your Social Security. And at the end of the year, you will, the business will give you a W-2, because you're now an employee of your business. You get a W-2, and then you can do your own taxes that way. That's just one of the ways that you can pay yourself. When I want to open my business account for my online business, what will I need? Okay, well, first you need to establish and figure out what kind of account you need. So you will actually call the bank and you will ask for a business rep, right? And that business rep will tell you all the different things that you need to come with to open up your business account. Okay, so if you're going to open up your business, you would have already went on sunbiz.org and you would have already registered your business under the state of Florida, and also you would have went on the IRS website and obtained an EIN number, which is employer identification number. Those 2 documents, you will take it to the bank, and one of the banker representatives there would be able to assist you from that point. should we take extra precaution when we're opening a business? Yes, we should take extra precaution and know exactly what it is that you're doing. If you don't understand, then you need to pay a professional to register your business and to open and to go through the whole opening of your business so that you get the right professional help that you need. A lot of times we think that, I don't want to pay $500 to open up my own business. I can do it myself. But you end up shooting your foot because you think you're saving by opening your business on your own, but then you end up picking the wrong entity that you need, and then in the end, right, when your business has been open for so many years, you could have paid thousands and thousands of dollars to the IRS because you were trying to save $400 or $500 when you started. So yes, I would always say seek help, seek professional help when you are trying to open your business, so you fully understand what it is that you're doing.
Okay, thank you very much to our panelists remotely, Augusta Philando, for still being able to share with us some important nuggets for business ownership. So we thank her. So we're going to continue on with this panel who is here in person. We'll get back to some of her video responses in a bit. Andrew, we're going to address you first here. How does one use online resources to begin searching for properties or begin real estate investment? What online resources are there available?
Okay, well, a good place to start is to understand that when you're getting into a real estate investment, you win when you buy, right? So, there's always going to be a demand for places to live. You'll never have problems finding a renter, things like that. The hard part is finding property that is going to be, that's in a price point that works for you, that you'll be able to purchase and be able to turn a profit from. There are a lot of different ways to do it. What it really starts with is what your personal goals are as a real estate investor. So some people, they look to buy tax deeds. Tax deeds are pieces of property that have been foreclosed on by your county. Generally, it's generally a county thing or a federal thing where you owe taxes and they repossess that property. The county is obligated to put those properties up for auction. They don't keep those. So that's something that they post. And that's individual counties that you can usually just go to their county website and you can find. Every county has a different clerk who does it. I think in Broward County, it's literally the clerk of court. So you contact them directly, and they'll tell you, well, we're gonna have auctions on this property, on that property. Those are good investments a lot of time. When you're looking for property that's distressed, that's usually a place where you can find that. Let's say it's abandoned or something like that. In real estate, there's a lot of footwork that's involved. If you're driving through a neighborhood and you see a property that looks like no one's lived in it for a long time, that's something that you used to have to literally go down to the city, walk into the clerk of courts, pay $10 to park and spend 3 hours in there trying to get somebody to tell you, to find out who the actual owner of the property is. Because remember, as the way that she put it in the bio, a scavenger, that's essentially what you are when you get involved into real estate investing. You are scavenging. You are looking for the deal. The deal does not find you. So you would go down to the city and you would have to ask, and you would have to, sometimes it's in a trust because the person who lived there passed away, or there are reasons why properties go unattended for long periods of time. Maybe there was an electrical fire inside the home and you can't tell. Up to, I would say, 7 or 8 years ago, you would have to go into the courthouse. You'd have to sit there and you would have to literally ask for all of that information, on all of those properties one at a time. But now, in the days that we're in, you can research these properties all over the nation. You know, you're no longer obligated to purchase what you can see with your eyes. You know, you can, so what I did was I hired 4 real estate agents. I had one in Atlanta, there's one in Portland, there's one in Houston, and the other was in Puerto Rico, actually. And so what we do is we have them go find that we have them put physical eyes on things that we find online, you know, and we have them kind of research it, there's a lot of things that are associated with real estate outside of just the purchasing. When you're looking at properties, you're looking at, there can be liens on the titles, there can be all sorts of things that are going on with those properties. And before, you had to walk into a courthouse to just get any of that information. It's become a lot more open, where you can find that information, through research, with enough Googles, you can get your hands on all of the information that you're looking for, and, finding that information on a state-by-state basis is crucial, for the real estate investor being able to save time and money, because in real estate, time is money.
Excellent, thank you. And I'm sure you all have questions. I have quite a few about this, but we'll get to the Q&A portion of it. Another question for you before I move on, actually.
Okay.
What kind of investing would you recommend to the novice, so anyone here who may be interested in dabbling? Are we talking about residential fix and flip? Are we talking about Airbnb rental? Commercial subletting? What would you say is like the first thing somebody should start off with?
So this is a question I get a lot. You should invest your goals, and you should know your resources, right? So ultimately, you can see results from everything. There are obvious risks in everything, and then there are obvious rewards in everything. So this is something we and Josh were just talking about. So I guess the difference between a flip or purchasing something and leasing it out is, would you rather have $50,000 today, or would you rather have $10,000 for the rest of your life, right? Because that's essentially what you're looking to do. A good lease allows you to pay the mortgage, and then what you would pay in the mortgage, you also make in income. So if you have $1,400 a month is what you're charging, then $700 of that goes to pay your mortgage, and then $700 of that is going into your pocket. And that's the ultimate goal. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. But that $10,000 comes at a price. You had to take money that you had in your pocket, and you had to make it what is essentially a long-term investment. If you're paying down on a house, you paid $50,000 down, you won't make that $50,000 back for 5 years. So what it comes down to is what your resources are. Can I afford to give up this money and then get back and wait for it to come back? When you start looking into flipping property, there are a lot of risks in flipping. My personal goal, my personal preference is that I try to avoid flipping unless I just want to make quick cash, because I look at flipping as the only business that you can be in where you don't have an asset as a result, right? So if you open a restaurant and your restaurant is doing well or it's doing poorly, you still have a restaurant. Your restaurant is an asset. You can borrow against your restaurant, you can refinance your restaurant, you can do anything with that restaurant. When you purchase a property, you do repairs on it, let's say, and then you sell it, all you have to show for that is the money itself. And in my opinion, money is just not that important. I'd rather have the asset. So for me, I always look at it and say, I would rather collect the assets. It builds your net worth. You always have the option to liquidate something to get something better, as opposed to just taking the $60,000 or the $90,000 or whatever it is that you're able to turn from a flip, because how are you going to get the next property? You're going to use the money you got from this flip to get the next one.
Thank you, very thorough. I do have questions directed to you all. Did you want to add to any of it, or? Okay, okay.
No,
It seems like-
Oh,
okay.
I thought I was-
All right, got you. Okay, so I'm gonna direct the next question to Joshua. Joshua, you dabbled in the Airbnb space yourself. So, well, would you say it's profitable? I guess that's my first question. But my real question is, why is pivoting to an online business the thing to do in 2021?
Wow, that's actually very, very important. If you do not have an online, if you do not have an online business or some way in which case someone can have access to you online, then you are losing a lot of money. And to the business owners in here, I know that means a lot to you. You don't want to lose out on a plethora of money. You want to lose out probably on some money, maybe some of you not. I see your heads, it's okay, I was just joking. But you don't want to lose out on a plethora of money. And everything right now is accessible. And if your business is not accessible online, then you're losing big time. And that means whether someone can't access to pay you on PayPal or on Stripe or on any other paying platform, like these things limit you, right? They limit customers from paying you, they limit people from having access to you, they limit big partnership deals as well. If your business is not online, and it's only word of mouth, that can only sustain you for a period in time. And I have a lot of business owners that I meet all the time that says, well, I've done this way all this time. I say, that's great, but I feel like right now you're treating the online service as though it was Visa, MasterCard. When Visa, MasterCard first came out, everyone wanted nothing to do with it. Now, don't you have a card? Don't you have a card? Don't you have a card? This is online business right now. And people are paying tons of thousands of hundreds of millions of dollars. And the only reason I can say that is because I've had that, right? So I have had many different back-end deals with online business, online marketing, where I've had clients make $11 million a year. Online, not on ground, strictly online. And those are great opportunities that you as a business, you definitely want to pivot in. Why? Because if you didn't make $1,000 last year, or if you didn't make $1,000 last month, or an extra $2,000 last month on online business, you can make it now. You're losing out on $24,000 a year, or $36,000 a year, or $100,000 a year on simple purchasing, simple business partnership deals that can happen online. So if you're not online, if you're not pivoting online, you're missing out big time.
Thank you very much. And I see you stirred up my Airbnb question, but it's okay. Is Airbnb profitable?
Okay. So my mic is just being rude to me. You shall listen. So Airbnb, in my opinion, is profitable, and at the same time, it could be unprofitable. It's profitable if you know exactly what you're doing. Actually, I'll probably grab it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, test 1, 2. Can you guys hear me on this? Is that fine? All right, awesome. So, Airbnb is profitable and it can also be unprofitable. Like anything that you do in business, you have to have a set of things that you want to get done in terms of Airbnb. What do I mean by that? So, when I first did Airbnb, I wanted nothing to do with it. I wanted nothing to do with it. I just wanted to hire someone to take care of the place. Just you take care of my Airbnb, goodbye, I'll see you when I get paid. And that was like my mindset in regards to Airbnb. And I was getting paid good money with Airbnb and with the people I hired. What I then had to realize was in terms of anything that you do or that you hire somebody else to do, it's very, very important that you know somewhat of the process. Very, very important that you know somewhat of the process. So I took a trip to their land basically and understood how do they even get me these bookings? How does that even happen? How are people paid? What's the process? And I guarantee you, if you do that with certain processes, you will learn very, very important things about your business, about yourself, about how people see you, so on and so forth. And what I would say was the biggest surprise for me in regards to Airbnb space was not just people in terms of deposits and things like that, but in terms of expectations. In Airbnb, if an expectation, if a theme, if a specific kind of expectation is set for clients or for the people that are getting the Airbnb, then it becomes sort of like an experience, right? So people are not buying your space, they're buying your experience. And so if you're able to sell the experience, then people they kind of go along with that vision. It's just much more easier and simpler, and it just makes things just more, I would say just facile, in French it's facile, but yeah, it's just things much more simple and more conducive and profitable. But if you don't have those things, right, if you don't have someone that's going to consistently come in the back and clean it all up and push out your theme and your vision about your Airbnb, because Airbnb is a business. You have to have someone to do those things for you, as well as you learning that process. If you don't have that, then it becomes difficult to really see the profitable gains, because no one is pushing your business to the brink. No one is doing that for you. Who is that zealous person in your clan or in your group that well represents you? That's what you would want for someone who's either representing your Airbnb or yourself representing your Airbnb. You would want someone to represent it that well. That's the same thing you want for your own business. You want that zealous person representing your business that bad, a diehard fan. And that's what you would want if you really want it to be profitable in terms of Airbnb. But if you don't have that, it becomes somewhat more difficult in my opinion.
Thank you very much. All right, Shimara, the next question is for you. What are the benefits of operating an online shop as opposed to a brick and mortar store that someone can walk into physically?
Okay, so one of the benefits is pretty obvious. You don't have much overhead, right? Okay. You don't have the overhead. So you get to avoid all of that, having to pay for the lights and the utilities and a bunch of inventory. You still need inventory whether you have an online or a brick and mortar, but it's a little different. You save a lot more money that way. And if you're good with using social media to market your business, it can be very profitable.
Okay, and the next question is for you as well. How does one make money as a social media influencer? I get this question all the time, and I figure I'll just direct it to Shimara. How does one make money as a social media influencer? What is that, first of all, for people who maybe not know that term? What are the truest monetization strategies for that influencer?
That's a deep question. Very tax question. Okay, so a social media influencer is someone who's popular on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, did I miss any? Snapchat, whatever social media platform you can think of. It's someone who has influence, someone who documents and creates content that is very niche. So, for example, I have two different niches, right? I have cosmetic surgery, and then I have on the other side of things about the Caribbean / Afro-Latina niche, right? So it's someone who has influence in a particular category where people trust them, they watch them, they love them, and they show, support, and they buy from them. So that's what a social media influencer is. And the first part of the question was,
how do you make money on social media?
Right. As an influencer. So if you're an influencer, you get brand collaborations, you know, different companies, brands, they see what you do, they like what you do, and they'll reach out to you. And on the flip side, you can reach out to brands that you know that your target audience may want to see some stuff from them, or, you know, do some giveaways. They'll reach out to you, and you set the price, depending upon your experience, how many followers you have, how many engagement, what's your engagement like, 'cause that's what's really important. How many people are actually commenting on your posts? How many people are actually buying into what you're selling or sharing with your audience, your network? I know for me, I do work with a lot of different brands, Curls, which is a popular hair brand, beauty brand. And so they pay me to go live on their platform. They pay me to go and represent their brand out into the public and show up at events, talk about their hair products. That's just one. When it comes to the cosmetic side of things, I know a lot of compressions, arm and body shapewear companies reach out to me. They'll have me wear their faja, and I'll create content for them. And, you know, I set my price based on how I feel, you know, how I feel it's going. When I talk to some of the people I worked in the past, I'll say, hey, how did you do? What were your sales like? What was the number like? And then I set my price up higher. If I know that I can do really well, then I raise the price. And you can too, depending on, you know, what you're doing and what you're selling. And for your businesses, working with social media influencers can be truly helpful if you work with those who have your target audience. And then the last question.
What are the best monetization strategies, the ones that are most effective that you've seen?
Okay, so there's a bunch of different strategies. Yeah, so you shaking your head, you with them?
No, you can knock it out.
Okay. Okay, so some of the strategies is just like, you just have to get in front of your audience and share what is it that you're doing, what can you do for that particular brand or any niche, right? So if I know I wanted to make money doing surgery consultations, I'm going to post that. I'm going to actually showcase, I am doing a phone surgery consultation right now. I am going to explain the benefits of it. I'm going to continuously create content so that other people can see, other brands will see, other followers will see, and then they're going to want to pay and say, hey, I want you to help me too. Because it's known, it takes someone 7 times, just about an average, to actually buy into whatever it is you're selling. So if I wanted to sell this cup of coffee, it may take you 7 times to see me post about it before you buy into this coffee. And that goes with any, you know, niche, right? So that's just one of the strategies. I mean, there's so many, but that's just one.
So yes, you can add, I just wanted to say something about Shimara. Every time you post, you look like you're having the time of your life. Like, you have so much fun that I want to be part of the fun. That's really it.
Selling the experience. One of you guys.
That's what I want to be. I
Sell
want
the
to be a
experience.
part of the fun life that you live. And I think that's the goal, as you said, you have to be social
Yeah.
on social media.
You have to be social on social media. Building a community, that's another strategy. Building a community. You know, it's not just all about posting. You actually have to interact with your followers. You know, ask them questions. Have them ask you questions. You have to comment on other people's stuff. You have to respond back to comments that they leave on your posts, your businesses. When it comes to Google reviews, that's a big one. Google reviews. A lot of businesses don't even ask for reviews. So in the event you ask for one, respond to them. You know, once you get that review, respond. That's part of creating an experience or creating a community. People that trust you and want to spend money with you, because people spend money with who they like.
Well said. The only thing I actually wanted to add on this is because I know that there might be some other business owners in here who kind of wanted to probably get just one more additional item in terms of paid partnerships. So in paid partnerships, there's 2 things in specific that really work well for you as a business owner. The first one is what Shimara had mentioned, where you can do paid partnerships where you pay someone or an influencer to do something for you. The other way that you can do this is if you do a collaboration with the influencer, and that's what I would probably recommend for you to do first if you're not looking to really spend a lot of cash in the moment or immediately. I'd recommend for you to do a collaboration with them, The reason being is because this saves you money and earns you money at the same time. How so? So, this is how it does that. It does that by, first, it allows the influencer to showcase your business. So let's say you have a police training academy that you do, right? If you have an influencer that showcases to, I don't know, bodybuilders or so on and so forth, that you want to collaborate with, you can have it in a way in which case people use a specific code with this influencer and they make a percentage and you make a percentage. There's no immediate investment, there's no money loss. It's really a win-win situation for you if you want to do that as a business owner.
Perfect. Keep the mic. Oh, unless Shimara had to add. Okay. A question for you, Joshua. All right. What is the benefit of Facebook marketing for a service-based business? We talked about product-based, but
Okay.
why do I market on Facebook?
Wow. So, does anybody here have a Facebook? You can kind of slightly raise your hand. Don't worry, I won't judge you. I'll judge you later. Okay, so does anybody have an Instagram? Does anybody have any social media handles at all? Okay. So, Facebook is a juggernaut, as you well know. It has Instagram and it has LinkedIn currently. And you actually being able to advertise on Facebook is very, very important if you are a service-based business. Why? Because with Facebook, you're able to not just brand your business and advertise, you can also do a lot of cool things on the back end. How so? You can get specific clients to get pre-vetted for your service. Let's say I'm a personal injury attorney. For a personal injury attorney, you only want to work with people who have a soft tissue injury, who's within a statute of limitations, who actually have medical documentation, who's looking for legal representation, and one more other thing that I kind of low-key forgot right now. But those are, let's just say those are the things that you need to know so it's a winnable case. And those cases can range anywhere between $15,000 and up just for the lawyer. So if I'm able to pre-vet a person to get to me as a service, that makes my outreach, my acquisition much more easier. Why? Because if I have a service that only meets that you have to meet certain criteria, I can set those criteria on advertisements. I can set those criteria on Facebook, on Instagram, and you have to meet those criteria in order for me to serve you. So if you do have a service-based business, then advertising on Facebook is very, very helpful for you because it does allow you to hone down on who it is you want, when you want them. If you only work with 28-year-olds, or if you only work with people from 35 and up because they pay you more money in taxes, and somebody just winked at me, I know who you are. But if you only work with those kind of people, then you can specifically target those people. You can specifically say, I want them to, they have had to have had their shots taken already. You can have that in a questionnaire and get them specifically, you can specifically work with your perfect audience as a service.
Okay, so you're not just talking about the targeting criteria, so the audiences. You're not talking about that. You're talking about, in addition to audiences and making sure you have a narrow audience on Facebook advertising, you're talking about creating a questionnaire on Facebook and having them fill it out.
Oh yeah, you can do that. You can create a questionnaire on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can have people fill it out. The crazier part about this is if somebody does click, if they dare click on your channel, yeah, I said that. If they dare click on your ad, but they don't fill it out, you can reach back out to them. You can become inescapable in terms of that. So in terms of having a service-based business and you really do want to grow your audience or you really want to grow that, so Facebook does have a powerful engine in terms of audience targeting, but you can also get even more granular with who you want, how you want them, if they have to meet other criteria, if they have to have had a surgery already, or if they already have a surgery date. You can get very, very specific. and they'll fill that question out, and it's all automatic. Facebook automatically pulls the name, the email, the number, everything, and it's all yours.
So it sounds like, yes, you can be a lot more powerful in your marketing than foot traffic. Because foot traffic, we can't go up to people and say, when's your surgery date? What surgery you're gonna, it's a little invasive, but they will do that. They will give you that information online.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is I believe you have you ever heard of a cyberbully? So cyberbullies are real, if you didn't know. I used to be one, God forgive me. But cyberbullies are real, it's a real thing. But I do want you to know something, cyberbullies are empowered because you can't see them. You can't see them, you can't go to their physical location, right? Right, unless you actually know them for real, do not come to me. But the point is that cyberbullies are real and people are empowered when they're online because they feel as if there's so much more things that could be done. They feel a lot more freer. The metaverse has created an opportunity or an open sea, no pun intended, that actually allows people to have access to everything, and it allows you to have freedom. So cyberbullies feel empowered because no one's gonna really come down on them. Just like someone may feel like, you know what, no one else is watching me insert my information on this ad, so I might as well tell them I do like this, or I don't like this, and this is a fuel for you. Why not take advantage of it and grow your business? And ask people questions that they don't mind answering when they're by themselves.
Excellent. Okay. I wanted to shoot back over to Andrew, if we can. Okay. Andrew, you talked about you hiring 4 different real estate agents to do your work. After you scavenged online, you make them do the footwork. Is it mandatory to hire a realtor or real estate agent if you want to invest online and if you want to start your process online and then you want to continue it yourself? Is it mandatory?
It's not mandatory, but I'll say this. You know, there are so in business, it all kind of feels a little cut and dry, right? You know, when you get your LLC, you open your business, you know, when you're dealing with real estate, you're dealing with cities, state, counties, federal government. Every state's got its own set of laws. Every state has its own processes and how it does things. You're playing with a lot of money when you're dealing in real estate, and so it is smart to have as many smart people around you as you can. That would be my opinion. Now, what I would say though is everybody approaches real estate differently, and so it depends also on what it is that you're doing. You know, like talking about online commerce, you can go onto Zillow. You can just open the Zillow app and you can find a house, and you can go down into the information in Zillow. Zillow will tell you what the comps in the neighborhood are. It'll even estimate what your mortgage would be if you pay 20% down. You know, so the type of real estate that you get into gives you the options. You know, there are certain things that you do where I suggest you have an attorney. You know, because you just want to know, you want to have all of the information in front of you, and there is a lot of information to try to gather, and it's very easy to miss it.
Thank you very much. Okay, Shimara, we're going to circle back to you. Okay. So we talked about the monetization strategies. I want to find out from you, Facebook marketing, Facebook engagement. What is the benefit of using Facebook and Instagram, because owned by the same entity, Meta, for a product-based business?
The benefits of using both? Okay, so the benefits is kind of like what he said. You're able to target your audience, right? If you're doing advertisements. With Facebook and Instagram, you're able to create different types of content. So you got video content, you got photos, you got reels now. And you know, reels. Right. No. So you're able to create so many different types of content and post on both platforms. Instagram is, there's different target audience, right? So there's an audience that uses Facebook. I know for me, my target audience live more on Instagram and TikTok right now. So that's where I expend my energy. And I'm sorry, Mom.
Okay, but when you're trying to sell products specifically, what kind of power does it give you in the actual sale of products on Instagram or Facebook or even TikTok?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, getting in front of all these users. I mean, there's so many, I believe it's like 1 or 2 billion users on Facebook. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And, you know, TikTok as well. Sorry, not TikTok, Instagram. I love TikTok, by the way. I'm really big on there. But yeah, there's so many users on there outside of having an email marketing list, which is really important too with word of mouth marketing. So it's just another avenue of being able to be placed in front of your customers if you're selling products. In my case, selling apparel. I mean, it's just another avenue to just be in front of your audience.
Now, can they purchase directly on Instagram from you?
There is, okay, so both of the features on Instagram and Facebook is that you're able to shop directly from there. You're able to attach a link, and now, I don't know if you saw the new Instagram update, but you're able to literally, it'll pop up like a t-shirt, right? And if you say, where did you get that? The link will pop up, you can just tap and it'll take you directly to that person's website. I know Facebook Metaverse is now creating this experience where you can literally like envision yourself right in the store shopping and literally click for what you want at your fingertips.
Okay, so if any of you have questions, please write them down. We're going to be turning to you for Q&A in just a moment. But I'm going to ask for the Augusta video. Augusta Philando wanted to share a few other things with us before she signs off. And of course, she is our accountant, small business consult, because she helps people open up their businesses so that they are IRS compliant. So, Augusta Philando's video at this time. This is the latter portion of her video.
Number 5, what if we're just selling a few items per month? Are we expected to pay taxes from the business? I'm going to say this. If you are selling a few items online, if it passes $600, according to the IRS laws and rules, you do have to claim it on your taxes, and yes, you do have to pay taxes on it. Right? There's a lot of us that are, buying and selling on the internet and we're, getting paid, as you guys would say. But in the end, you do definitely have to pay taxes on that particular income, because according to the IRS rules and laws, if it's $600 or more, you would have to include it in your taxes. Next question. What if we have a W-2 job in an online business? Should we file taxes for both? Absolutely. If your online business made over $600, according to the IRS rules and laws, you do have to file taxes on that particular income. And you will, of course, your whatever professional person that you're using to prepare your own taxes, accountant, CPA, or tax professional, they will be, you will bring all that information to them, and they will, of course, complete your taxes. If we owe the IRS money, what measures will we take to get us to repay? Okay, owing the IRS money, I know a lot of times people feel that, well, you know what, I'm getting these letters and it's getting very frustrating and I don't know what to do, right? Call your accountant, call your tax professional, call your CPA, right? Find out, what measures can you take? Contact the IRS, 1-800-829-1040. That's the IRS phone number. They're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. I always give my clients a tip. If you really want to get in contact with the IRS, call them early in the morning. Start calling at 6:58 a.m. By the time you go through the all the different questions and prompts, right? They will be online at 7 a.m. to receive your call. Okay? At this time, that's the end of my segment. I do thank you so much for coming. Thank you for listening and hope to see you guys around. Bye.
Yes, let's thank Augusta for being far from us, but still being near to us and offering insight from the accounting's perspective. All right, we're going to continue with some of the last few questions I have for you as a panel, and then we will go directly to Q&A. Okay, so Shimara, I'll go back to you. How does organic social interactions help you monetize your business? Organic social interactions that you have.
Okay, so organic social interactions help, but you cannot rely, not in this day and age where the algorithms have completely changed. It's no longer enough. Not when Instagram first started back in 2009. It used to be so easy to grow and grow fast. Now they make it very difficult. But nonetheless, organic interactions is helpful overall, not just with monetization, but just in general with developing rapport and networking with people, because your connections can get you into doors. What is organic interactions, right? So it's just me literally not only liking a person's post, but actually taking time to leave out a comment or commenting on someone's story or sharing their post. If I know someone else is doing real estate, right, I'm going to possibly connect them to on social media, have them follow each other, make sure that, I'm showing love to both of them. If I know that he's really great with marketing for big businesses, and I know someone who has a business or work with a big business, then connecting them to on social media is going to be good, because obviously that creates rapport, it creates trust, it allows other people from the outside looking in to say, wow, she's a great plug, or she's doing X, Y, Z. She's someone that I see as a go-to when I need something, possibly. So it just looks good. It helps with creating the connections. So those are just a few different ways. Like I said, just developing a community is key, because that's who you're selling to. That's who's going to buy into whatever it is you do. If you decide to switch careers or switch businesses, they're going to follow you. If they like you and they trust you enough, that community that you organically grew and created are going to go with you and ride your coattails to the end of time.
Okay, so you would say you built your community first,
Yes.
and then you began selling to them. Am I right on that?
That is correct.
Okay, so that could be a recipe for success for anyone in this room.
Yeah.
Building a community first. And, yeah, you have to check her out on social. She's amazing. So it's music, it's culture, it's food, like everything. It's a lifestyle. It's hair. It's everything that makes her fun and cool, and you want to be your friend. And that's how you sell to them.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, wow, this is so cool. I want to be a part of it, so let me put on a shirt too and look cool, just like Shimara. And I think that's it. It's just wanting to be friendly with someone.
Right.
And then that's the gateway, social media.
Absolutely. So I definitely, and you just reminded me, a lot of people make a mistake when they start their businesses online or their social media platforms. They sell without developing a community, without bringing value to who you want to target. So, if you want to sell this bottle of water, you can't just say, here, buy my bottle of water. You have to explain. Stories sell, okay? I would say facts tell, stories sell. Sell me why I need to have the water. Don't sell me the water, sell me why I need it. why is it important? Sell the benefits, sell the lifestyle around it, and people are going to be more eager to buy into it.
I like that. So it keeps me hydrated, makes me run faster, makes me lose weight, makes me feel good, makes my skin glow.
Exactly.
Love it,
I
yeah.
don't know, just have to say. No, but that's exactly what you need to do, and you'll be more inclined to buy. Did you want to buy a watermelon now? Right.
Andrew's about to, they're free.
I want to say as well,
Exactly.
Okay, so Joshua, next question's for you. If one is just starting out in online business, what type of business model requires the least startup capital, in your professional opinion?
Who asked that question? Wow, yeah, that's a toughie. It's only a toughie because there's a plethora of different avenues to take here. Do we know what they want to sell, or it doesn't matter?
No, right now.
Right now, the best way. Okay. So, I think right now, if someone said, you know, Josh, I want to open up an online store, I want to do something immediately, I would recommend that they get someone to build out a one-page store with a payment gateway. And from there, they should be able, if just the easiest way, whatever it is that you're selling, you need a one-page store. It would be a one-page store. The best thing that you want to put on that store, if you do want it to make sure that it's getting purchases, you want to make sure you put testimonials on there, how people feel about your product, what are they saying with it, people interacting with your product. You want to give it as much exposure as possible with your product or your experience if it's a service-based. And then from there, that one page should be able to lead people to purchase. It is very important that you do it this way if you're just looking for the easiest, least capital way to do that. Because what you can then do is you can put a pixel on that site, retarget people, build your audience. There's so many things you can do with that, but that would be the cheapest way for you to actually open up an online store and get things done. And
I wanted to add, they don't have to be your products, do they?
no, they do not have to be your products. You can, let's say, I don't know, let's just say that you have a way to get this kind of cup, and it's a popular cup or a coffee. This is how a lot of online businesses really work. They'll get something from Alibaba or Alibaba Express, and they'll say, this is worth, I don't know, $40, and on Ali it's worth like $2, and their profit is $38. And what they'll do is they'll take this one product, they'll get a couple things to really make it, if they're professional, they'll get a couple things to really make it great. They'll get someone to do a great product image, and then product review. If you don't have that, you're losing out. You need someone to say, check out this, I just bought this, it was amazing, how dare you not buy this, XYZ, and shell basically that experience of this awesome cup, and then have multiples of those and have other people talk about it. What it is that, like I said, people, they buy from people. That's what they do. They buy from people. People buy from people. And if they see that, they see other people with this experience, they're going to want to purchase it. But it doesn't have to be your product. You can literally, I'm not saying to do this, but you can literally get something from Walmart per se and just overprice it and technically sell it. But I don't recommend you do that because of trademark things. Don't do that.
Right, but Alibaba's an example.
Yeah.
So
For drop shipping, for anybody
that
that's
is
like,
considered drop shipping. So
anyone who's interested in like drop shipping and stuff like that, Alibaba Express is a really, really good place where you can find very cheap products and sell it at a very high rate and make huge profits from that. But you want to make sure you find good items, good items, good quality stuff, and then you can sell it. But one pager would be the best.
So how much do you think that could cost someone? We're talking about low cost of entry, right? If I wanted to get started online. So you're talking about a one pager online.
Right.
You're talking about getting some good product images,
Mhm.
getting people to say, I use this. How much would it cost me to get started this month?
This month, okay. So, I would, sorry, I had to burp. So I had, comment on everything. Now, I had this, I had a client with this. They had a brand called Undefeated Nutrition. It was a really, really cool item that they had. And they had a Shopify store. And so how that looks is, so you buy a theme on Shopify, right? And it's about like 60 bucks, 25, like it's not expensive to buy a theme on Shopify. What you do want to buy is you want to buy a domain name, make sure it has HTTPS access. So in total, that'll probably be like maybe 200 bucks for you to really like knock that out. Then from there, what you want to do is you probably want to invest in someone to trick out or, you know, really knock out like really good schematics on your one pager. You get somebody on Fiverr for like 65 bucks, probably at max, to really do that and add schematics to that. So you got what, 265 there. And then from there, what you can do is you can also hire somebody to do product reviews and so on and so forth. You send them the item, so it's not fake or anything. You really do send them the item. They really test it out. They do videos and they do product images. And that could also cost you maybe at max, you know, 50 bucks. So there you got 300 bucks and you just started your, you know, one pager stuff online. And then I would recommend that you also get some email marketing in there as well. Why? Because people go to carts. You've done this. I've seen you. You go to carts and you leave them and you don't buy. That's true. You leave your cart with stuff in there. It's true. So what the email marketing, what it'll do is it'll say, hey, you forgot something, and it'll be very dedicated to catching anyone who tries to slip through the cracks in terms of, buying your stuff, right? If you really want to be dedicated to, opening this one store pager, then I would recommend you get those things. And there are email services that are free to a period of time. For example, I do not recommend MailChimp, but they do have a free service that they do. I prefer to recommend ActiveCampaign and Klaviyo because they have what I call if this then that formula. What that formula does is basically says, if this person doesn't open this email, send them that email. But if they don't open this email, send them that email. But if they do open this email, send them this email. And it really just allows you much more of different options to really grow your audience and your money email-wise. So.
I use ActiveCampaign to email everyone in this building.
Oh, wow.
For the event.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it for me and my questions. Now we're opening it up to the floor, to you all who have questions for these skilled professionals. I'm going to put the mic here on the stand, and we're going to allow you to come up to the mic. Please introduce yourself, to tell us a little bit about you, and then direct the question to whomever you want. Let's give them a round of applause for being with us. Okay.
I'm on what the brave one, right?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Franz Judone. I'm also from Haiti.
Oh.
And I'm retired from AT&T. And it's been 1.5 months that I've been coming to the church, and I'm blessed to come. And I like to make this and I enjoy your worship. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the dance. Doing whatever. Thank you. Okay, I have a couple questions. One of them, you did talk about tax deed from counties and cities. Okay. I had looked at them at one time and I got away from that because I could not answer the question whether the banks still hold a lien on them. Okay. Because if I buy it, okay.
This is a popular question. So I'll start by explaining the difference between a tax lien and a tax deed, right? So if you have a, so I don't know, some of us, most of us are in here are homeowners. When you know, your taxes are due in November, they become delinquent in April, right? If they become delinquent, sometimes the cities, they issue tax liens. So tax lien is basically giving someone the opportunity to become a debt collector against the actual owner of the property. And how that works is, well, the primary reason, first of all, is because the city, especially in South Florida, in general, there are no state taxes. So the state runs basically on property tax. They don't want to have delinquent amounts of money that are out. What they would rather do is create a lien and sell it to someone else. So then what the real estate investor does is he comes in and he purchases that lien, essentially paying the taxes that's owed to the city. And then what's in it for the investor is that any penalties associated with that and interest goes to the investor. There's a 2-year span of time. I can't remember what that time is going to be. They name everything. But there's a 2-year span of time basically where all I can do is hold that lien and hope you pay it. Right? You know, all of the, you know, the fees and those things. After that 2-year time span, I can go to the city and I can ask the city to foreclose on that property. When that takes place, then a tax deed is created. So what happens in that situation, and again, every state is different. It's not something that I do, so I'm not completely sure of how we do it in Florida. In some states, when you ask the state to foreclose on that property, then the state simply gives you the property. And then there are other states where they auction it. I believe Florida is a state where they would take that, they would create a tax deed auction. They're obligated by law to make it public knowledge. That was something you used to have to go to the city to find out, but now they put that stuff online. And then they would have an auction for that property. Once that property is sold, and again, I believe this is different in differing states as well, as long as the state is satisfied in terms of their taxes and any other liens that might be owed, like say from an HOA or something like that, those things get satisfied, the deed would go to the person who purchased the deed. In some states though, I do believe that there is an amount of money that goes to the bank, but I'm not exactly sure how they do it in Florida.
I got one more question.
Okay.
I got a few, but I want to leave time for others. The one that really interests me is why I'm here. It's concerning, I have an idea to create a problem. Now, in the past, you would have to go and patent that problem and do all that, which takes a long time. But now, you can make it quickly and make as much as you can, and if they clone it, that's fine. So, can I find somebody to manufacture, to create a problem for me, and then find an outlet, find a vendor like Amazon to sell it for me. Like she's saying, no, we can get the inventory and equipment and overhead and all that. And I'll sit down and I'll write something.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So, yeah, that was a very, very, very good question. So there's a couple of businesses online who actually look for people who are product developers. And what I mean by product developers is if you have an idea, if you have a vision of something that you think would be awesome to make and that people would buy, there are tens, hundreds of companies who are looking for it. And I can kind of give you like a list of that probably afterwards. I don't have all of them at the top of my head, but there are companies who literally go and book a consultation with you just to see how vivid or real your idea is and if it's profitable. If it is, then they go ahead and they actually fund it. and they actually, walk with you and talk with you as to how that stuff is done. But in terms of being able to have somebody manufactured and so on and so forth, that's probably where I would start. And the only reason I would start there is because sometimes you do not have to have it all together to actually have it put out. Sometimes you just have to do things afraid, scared, not all right. So go out, have the vision of it, and actually just test it out and see what that gives you. But in terms of a list of like who it is that you want to contact, I could definitely give that to you afterwards, of like the different companies that I know of that you can reach out to that would actually entertain a good conversation with you as to what it is that you see would change the world or would be better, and then they would have a consultation with you. Because the reason I said you don't have to have it all together is because sometimes Shimara might have much more of an idea. Her mind just might work way much better in regards to something, and you don't, and yours doesn't. But and you don't have the product. But I guarantee you, if you entertain a conversation about that, it would spark something in you, and would help you to grow more in terms of what you want to accomplish.
Also, I forgot to say this. I can actually help you get information about tax deeds if it's something that you're still interested in. I can find out if you let me know what county it is that you're trying to work in. I can definitely get that information for you.
Hey, good morning. My name is Robin, and I just recently became a reverend. So, so I'm at the end of my career of my regular job, and God has spoken to me to do a YouTube channel. So, the pastor told me I can reach people differently. I'm not looking to have my own church because I'm not feeling it, with all my prayers, but I'm looking to to the YouTube channel so I can reach people around the world and preach about love, because love has no color. So, I guess my question is, I have many, but I'll leave it to a few, is you said something about targeting a specific age group, and I think in my case, they're looking for a specific age group. And if so, how would you target a specific age group? And then how do you know what advertisements to choose to, when they come up in the middle, the end, or beginning of the video show up? Like, how do you know what to choose for?
Okay. So there's many avenues that you can take. So repeat your first question, and I'll answer it immediately.
The first question is, how do you know what age group to target? Because I think, as a reverend, not to choose a specific age group, but to reach out to someone who's hurting, and maybe, just to be able to be honest with who I am from the very first video, and, what I'm here for. I would say that there really wouldn't be a specific age group.
Okay, so there would be a specific age group, and the only reason that there would be a specific age group is because you probably want to convey your message a certain kind of way. So it might be more energetic, or it might be more, very calm. But there's different energy as to how it's being portrayed, and who would basically capture that first, or who is most likely to be captivated by what is being said easier. So you would want to probably start off with a specific age range from, anywhere between 18 to 55 or 18 to 45. You want to start with the age range and then grow from there. It's always, in my opinion, my professional opinion, it's always wise to go with a target you can hit, and then let it grow from there. Because if you can do that, then you can really hone in on who this person is. What do they normally respond to? For example, if I'm going to target teenagers, right? I probably want to talk about the biggest thing that teenagers always talk about: money, getting money quickly, boyfriends and girlfriends, and what else is out there in terms of what they can do. So I would most likely I probably want to talk on that, but I'd also want to talk about, dealing with sin behind closed doors, right? Stuff like that they deal with, they're never going to tell you, right? But they'll watch it, they'll heal from it, but that's something that they'll probably watch, right? You talk about how money is huge in the kingdom of God and how you can use it, and how money is huge also physically and how you can use it. I'm pretty sure someone will listen if you unlock for them certain keys to the kingdom of God and how to use money. I'm pretty sure they'll listen to it. So if you can hone in on a specific age group and then just grow from there, in my opinion, I think it would be much more clear.
There's nothing like when you do this YouTube channel, I'm doing enough of this job. There's nothing that you check off that says, hey, this is the age people
So there is actually, so if you do a YouTube channel, if you do YouTube, whether you're doing advertisement on YouTube or you're doing YouTube Shorts, which I just told everyone here, it's a $2 billion industry, just YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is a $2 billion industry right now. And it came out like a year ago. So it's crazy. And shorts are basically like 45 seconds, 10 seconds, 30-second videos. Became a $2 billion industry. Anyways, so when you put out a video, it asks you certain questions. So if you're uploading a video on YouTube, it says, hey, who is this for? Is this for young kids? Is this for 13 years and up? Is this for 18 years and up? It asks you those questions. You can kind of check it off when you upload a video. And then it also asks you, is this rated mature? Is this rated PG? Like, it asks you those questions, and you can kind of put that stuff on there when you're uploading the YouTube stuff.
So it's great because, again, I want to reach out to people who are hurting, but maybe some stuff, but maybe going through domestic violence or whatever, so that then the age group wouldn't feel. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, what I would prefer to recommend you, though, is not the age group to focus in on, but the verbiage and the title and the thumbnails for the YouTube. And the reason being is because that's what people see first, right? So if they see how to get over depression at 18 years old, they'll click on that, right? It's the verbiage there, right? Or, it's there, the thumbnail there, right? There you see someone who looks like they're battling something, it looks interesting. So things like that is what I would recommend. The advertising? No, it's cool. I just want to be clear that's what you're saying. That's all. Are you asking, do people who advertise come to you or do you come to them? Is that what you're asking?
I'm not concerned about the pay right now, just concerned with getting the word out there, and like, when in the event that time does come, do I pick, I understand that, I can pick from the beginning, middle, or the end of the video, but do those people, for me, would I want to pick Pastor Bob Francis as a video or a commercial? Yeah, not that commercial.
It works in two different ways for advertisement on YouTube. So in one way, someone could come to you and as a business, and they could potentially say, hey, I want to advertise this on your channel. And they'll pay you, normally how they pay you is based on, if the person watched the entire ad. If somebody watched the entire ad and didn't click anything, you would still get paid. If somebody watched the ad and clicked, you get paid. But if somebody skips the ad, then most likely you wouldn't get paid. But it depends on the kind of advertisement there is, right? Depending on how long it is, all that stuff. But yeah, you can pick and choose when you want to put the advertisement on your channel, okay? There are, though, certain things that YouTube does, though, where if you do have a bigger channel, they'll kind of put it in the very beginning. Right, they'll just put it in the very beginning. So as you grow, so like if YouTube sees that you're really growing your channel and subscribers, they'll just randomly put their own ad, like stuff like that.
have a question from the web, so if anyone else has any questions before we close Q&A, please think of them, because this is the Q&A from the web. Okay, Andre, I have your question here. For an organization like a church, should they consider having an online biz to sell inspirational products? If so, should that come from the pastor's personal social media pages or the church's social media? The reason I ask is, it seems like people follow people more than the organization.
Okay, sorry. But that's what, can you repeat the question?
Okay, all right. Should we, as a church, I think he's asking, if we want to sell inspirational products, should we sell it from the pastor's personal page or the church's social media page? I think people follow people more than organizations, is what he's saying.
Okay, so that's a great question. Both. It should be on both. Because the pastor is the representation of the organization. So it should be on both. The more eyes you can get in front of, the better. That's only going to benefit everyone. So I know for me, I advertise my services and my products on all my platforms. So my personal page, same thing with, what I advertise on my business page. Now I don't post every single thing because then it would take away from certain things, and then it would oversaturate, and then not a lot of people who follow me personally may only see surgery bodies, or they may not care for me talking about my identity, so I don't showcase everything because I want them to follow those two different platforms, but I definitely showcase what it is I'm doing and what it is I'm selling, for sure, on both.
Sweet, I thank you so much for that. All right, so we've come to sort of the end of our event, but I have a few giveaways for you all. And yes, we have a few giveaways, and how we're gonna do it, I just had a brainchild. How we're gonna do this is, I want to give away my book, Hola America. Yeah, the book that my dad and I wrote. And Josh, you have a free consultation as a giveaway. And I have a hot seat giveaway with Josh too. Okay, so we're looking at about three, 4 giveaways here. So this is how I'm going to give away. I want the first person to follow Tiffany Knowles on Instagram. You get my book.
Hey.
You can't be following me though.
Oh.
The first person who's not following me, who follows me right now, I'm gonna go check. Tiffany Knowles on Instagram. Tiffany Knowles is my name. TiffaniKnowles. And I'm gonna check here to see who's the first person following me, and then you'll get this book. You did? Yes, it's you. That is A. Gentles Godfrey, so it's you. You get it. Okay, I'll sign it for you and everything. Okay. I'm gonna have somebody follow. Okay, I'm gonna give away a consultation, business consultation. The first person to follow Shop Be Latina. Shop Be Latina. The first person
Gets the free consultation.
gets a free business consultation. What's it, 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes business consultation. First person to follow Shop Be Latina. No, yeah, it's a She's gonna give it. It has to be the second. Okay. Dimitri. Who? Dimitri.
Dimitri, you got a business?
Dimitri, you got a business? There you go.
Okay.
Trying to start.
That's fine.
All right, we're gonna do another one. Listen, we're We're doing another one. Don't worry, don't worry. So we had 2 winners already. Dimitri, God bless you. Tamara, God bless you. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The first person to follow Joshua Cenatis on Instagram. Joshua spelled traditionally and Cenatis spelled Senatus. Is it Josh? Are you looking? Like, what's happening? You have people.
Yeah, but it'll tell me immediately.
Oh, it will?
Yeah.
April said she got it, so is it true?
Let's see.
Let's look at scientific. You know, the algorithm, we have to check. Okay.
It's loading.
Is it?
April was, nope. Yeah, actually, April's first, yeah.
April, yes! Okay, you got a 30-minute business consultation with Joshua. Super. All right, I want to give away a hot seat.
Go for it, let's do it.
What a hot seat is you do it right now. He's going to give you, you're going to give him your business problem, and he's going to help you solve it.
Karate chop.
Yeah, so that's well, I'll give a hot seat away. Okay, so you can follow Instagram again? Yes, you can follow my book Instagram. Yes, so I have a page called Hola America on Instagram. Hola America series on Instagram. No. It's Hola America book. I apologize. I have a few pages too. It's Hola America book, HOLA, like hello. You did it?
But I did it already, but
Tamara's getting all the gifts. I don't know what to do.
But I didn't give it to someone. But look,
But she's motivated, right? I love that.
I'm the first person.
But she's the first person. Can you give it to this friend right next to her?
I can. Who is the second person?
Oh, whoever the second person. You can't really.
Dimitri too? Oh my gosh. What is
Who is the
Dimitri?
second or third? If I'm the first person, then I
Oh, no, it is you. Tamara, you are the first. Dimitri, you're second. What is happening? Majestic Essentials. Okay, there you go.
Well, that's
Thank you very
I'll
much.
give it to Majestic.
And we're gonna do a hot seat for so she's gonna do that today.
Right now?
Yeah, you won't leave, you'll just do a little consultation with him before you go.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. You were gonna display it.
I would love to display it, but, oh yeah, we have a few more. Oh yeah, so you're gonna book the consultation with him,
Oh,
and,
so it's a later date.
okay. I'm sorry, I was supposed to give away one online.
I'm gonna have a consultation.
I'm supposed to give away one online. Okay, all right, so online, our online audience, I have one to give you, and I apologize, I should have spoken to you all. Yes, so if you follow Joshua Cenatis, please, on Instagram, and you text us your handle, he will give you a free consultation, but we have to see your handle come up first on our Facebook or YouTube. Just chat that, and then we'll look for you, and you'll get one as well, okay? Thank you. I didn't want to leave the online audience out. So, oh no, we're done. We're all done here. So, thank you so much for everyone attending. God bless you all and your business ventures and endeavors. And if we can do anything to help, I mean, if I can answer any questions, I would be more than happy to. There is still refreshment and food. And we wish you all the best in your holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Isn't it festive already? Thank you so much for coming. God bless you. Drive safe. For Dimitri, if you just text him your link.
Yep.
For Majestic Essentials, text him your link.
Yep.
Oh, you're gonna.
If I find it online, because
Oh, it's way more than an apple.
Are you gonna eat?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? want me to pack something for you?
I found, yes, thank you.
Yeah, if you have my number or you can get it, I'll